The diversity of electric vehicles is now so vast that it seems difficult to surprise us with anything new. However, not long ago, a car brand that stands out with its features and design has emerged. This company, named Zeekr, which in April 2024 has produced 100,000 cars. The company is currently present in more than 25 markets worldwide and is expected to expand to 50 more countries this year. Although Zeekr's lineup consists of only 4 models, but its shares are already traded on the IPO. Not bad for a company that's only 3 years old, right? Let's find out more about it. Zeekr was founded in 2021 as an independent brand under the management of Geely Holding, which was founded by Li Shufu, an entrepreneur from Taizhou, Zhejiang province. Geely Holding owns dozens of other brands, including Volvo, Polestar, Lotus, Lynk & Co, and LEVC. The company also has its ride-hailing app to compete with Didi. Owns brand for EV taxi manufacturing known as Cao Cao Auto. Besides that, Geely launches its own satellites just like SpaceX. Owns 7nm auto chip manufacturing and plans to sell 3.6 million cars by 2025. The story of how Li Shufu managed to acquire Volvo from Ford in 2010 and about the Geely company in general deserves a separate video. Since its founding in 1986, Geely has primarily focused on vehicles with internal combustion engines. However, technology is rapidly changing and electric vehicles have become a trend. For example, in November 2021, Geely's competitor BYD sold 90,000 electric vehicles out of a total of 97,000 vehicles sold. But what about Geely? That year, electric vehicles made up only 5% of Geely's sales. Therefore, company needed to take an urgent action, and the Zeekr brand became the solution that Geely was looking for. Chinese name of the brand sounds like Zeekr, which represents the pursuit of ultimate performance and uncompromising user experience. The second character refers to krypton, a rare gas that emits light when electrified, symbolizing technological advancement in the smart era. As all you know, English name sounds like Zeekr, where Z stands for zero, signifies the beginning or a starting point. Double E reflects the electric nature of the brand, denotes continuous evolution, and marks the era of electric progress. And the last 2 letters also refers to krypton element, just like in Chinese. According to another version, the name Zeekr comes from a combination of the term Gen Z and the word geek. In China, the company has over 280 offline stores and showrooms in 70 cities. They also deployed more than 600 charging stations, and Zeekr owners have access to 400,000 charging points around the country. Besides that, Zeekr operates over 300 after-sales car repair shops. Being part of the Geely family, Zeekr only focuses on premium electric vehicles, and it is aiming at young car buyers with relatively deep pockets. The first car of the brand was Zeekr 001, which is a blend between Lynk & Co and Porsche Panamera. In the front, the car remains the Lynk & Co facial and proportions. Only the different badge indicates this is a Zeekr. Side and rear profiles are fantastic. The shooting brake design is aggressive and sporty, but not overdone. From some angles, the 001 has Panamera-like proportions, which is not a complaint. As it is becoming the trend, the doors are all electrics. Push the button on the handle and the door opens. Once inside, give a gentle tug on the interior handle, closing it. While the boot is pretty roomy and gets a hidden underfloor space, the seats do not fold down fully flat. Also counted in that, total is not the large well area between the 2 seats rows. There is a small frunk, but this is filled with toolkits for the car. There are just 2 trim levels for the 001, V and U.
And your friend Steve.
U is only available as the all-wheel drive, while the V, along with the dual motor version, can be had as just a rear-wheel drive. With a 0 to 100 km time of just 3.8 seconds, The dual-motor version has one of the fastest acceleration times seen yet on a Chinese EV. As you know, many EVs suffer from a wagginess with the steering, but Zeekr has managed to give the car the feel of a sports sedan with the precision of steering, usually only seen in cars like a BMW. This is the most noticeable under the dynamic drive mode, which also tightens up the air suspension. There are also eco and comfort driving modes, but they are far harder to tell apart. All-wheel driving versions add snow, sand and off-road modes, with the latter raising the air suspension to the highest level for greater ground clearance. Consequently, the 001 is the first vehicle built on Geely's all-electric, sustainable experience architecture. Zeekr could be one of the first Chinese brands to feature 800-volt electric architecture as EA platform is capable of it, but Geely decided that the first car wouldn't have it. So unfortunately, no faster charging times when using a 480 kW charger. This supposedly allowed around 100 km of range to be added in 5 minutes or so. Under the NEDC cycle, the U version, which features a 100 kWh battery, has a range of 606 km, and the same battery in the rear-wheel drive. In December 2021, RoboSense and Zeekr announced a strategic cooperation. The two sides gathered resources to help Zeekr create more intelligent vehicles. Shenzhen-based RoboSense is a provider of smart lidar sensor systems. With a complete portfolio of lidar sensors, AI perception and IC chipsets, RoboSense transforms conventional 3D lidar sensors with comprehensive data analysis and interpretation systems. It's no secret China is a fail-fast culture. It has its ups and downs. You don't always get the product people want, or a feature may fall flat on its face. Chinese motto might be to deliver fast, and if it doesn't work, fix it. As we know now, Zeekr 001 is an incredible success, delivered over 100k units and exported to many countries. But when it was launched in China in 2021, it was a disaster. The car was equipped with an outdated Qualcomm 820A chip, and as a result, the in-car user experience was terrible and the SW was lagging. Zeekr swiftly started production of the version with the newer Qualcomm S8155 and offered free chip replacement to all existing owners. NIO did the same with ET7, but as the lagging problems were not so serious, they made it optional for about 12,000 yuan. The new 2023 Zeekr 1 maintained the previous model's design while upgrading its configuration and battery life. The V version comes with a 100 kWh battery, offering a CLTC standard range of more than 700 km and an acceleration time of 0 to 100 in 6.9 seconds, with a starting price of $43,000. Or users can purchase the 1032 km range upgrade package for an additional fee of around $15,000. Furthermore, in May 2023, a Chinese netizen posted on Weibo an actual battery life evaluation video of the Zeekr 1 V version. The netizen adjusted the air conditioner in the car to 23 degrees Celsius and the energy recovery level to low. He drove from Golmon to Qinghai province, then returned back. He drove the vehicle until the battery was completely exhausted, without any charging halfway, which lasted 11 hours, and at the same time passed through a high altitude area of more than 3,000 meters. The data showed that this Zeekr 1 has an actual battery life of 922 kilometers, including 714 kilometers on highways and 208 kilometers on national highways and cities, with an average speed of 75 kilometers per hour and an energy consumption of 14.7 kWh per 100 kilometers. Later, Zeekr has released a special version of the regular model. The brand's Instagram account posted the first official images of the Zeekr 1 FR. It maintains the overall design of the regular 001 liftback, with a few exceptions. The most obvious of them is the new front bumper of the 001 FR. It has got more aggressive air intakes, front spoiler, and the red stripe that underlines its performance capabilities. The rear end has adjusted bumper and a rear spoiler. The Zeekr 1 FR launched in China for $105. The all-wheel drive performance car has 4 electric motors with 1247 horsepower and a 280 km/h top speed. FR stands for Future Roads. The acceleration from 0 to 100 is insane, just 2.37 seconds. The car can perform a U-turn thanks to its 4 independent electric motors. This feature was previously seen only on tanks and some crazy SUVs from BYD, but never on a shooting brake. The 1FR also has an inbuilt satellite phone and navigation. Geely Group plans to launch 72 satellites into orbit by 2025. The first 9 GSat-1 were launched in June 2022. Commemorating 20 years since China's F1 event in 2004, Zeekr also announced that China's first F1 driver, Zhou Guanyu, has become the chief driving officer for the new Zeekr 1. The partnership with Zhou Guanyu will boost motorsports in China. As Zeekr's first model, the Zeekr 1 is the sole Chinese model partnering with 2 F1 drivers. The former F1 world champion Kimi Raikkonen has also joined Zeekr as a chief performance advisor late last year, whom oversaw the launch of the Zeekr 1 FR. Raikkonen himself adjusted it since he had signed a contract with Zeekr. The Raikkonen mode will increase the power output of the Zeekr 1 FR to 1282 horsepower. This mode will be available through the OTA update soon. Kimi will also help Zeekr to adjust regular versions of the Zeekr cars in the future. Public debut of the new car was on the 2022 Chengdu Motor Show. The Zeekr 001 uses a dual-motor drivetrain. Each motor has an output of 272 horsepower for a combined 534 horsepower. That's a lot for a big MPV, and Zeekr claims a top speed of 190 km/h. The battery pack is expected to be the same 100 kWh unit as used in the Zeekr 1. The Zeekr 9 became the first EV that got silane batteries from CATL. It smashes from 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds. While it's unclear why an MPV needs this level of power, it certainly adds some fun to the driving. The Zeekr 9 can come to a stop from 100 km/h in 37 meters, which is impressive, but the sheer mass of the vehicle is felt during heavy braking. Its main design feature is a massive grille, which is typical in the luxury MPV segment. The 154 programmable dot matrix LEDs behind it, dubbed the Spring of Light, add a touch of style. It can be silver-plated or covered with the body color. However, folks on Weibo poking fun at the Zeekr 9's grille, comparing it with an old Ford Transit van, various household items and the floor. The distinct square LED daylight running lights are a departure from the norm of LED light bars in EVs. Now let's have a look at the 9's interior. It looks simple and clean. The center console has a big floating screen. It looks similar to the 001's monitor. Under the screen we can see a continuous air vent. As for the center tunnel, it also stays in line with the 001 in some details. For example, they have the same small retractable gear selector. The 9 also got a wireless phone charging pad and 2 cup holders. The steering wheel of this car stays in line with the one in 001. However, the interior of Zeekr 9 is made of premium materials that reinforce its status as a top-tier vehicle. Nappa leather, micro-suede and metal touch points add to the sense of luxury. The ambient lighting in the rear is more for aesthetics than function, adding a touch of class to the vehicle. The second row of the Zeekr 9 has one more exciting and quirky feature. It is a touchscreen on each sliding door. As we can see, with this screen you can control temperature, windows and sunshade. You can also lock and unlock the rear door with the help of this screen. It seems like Zeekr wanted to make its MPV as futuristic as possible. The 3-row layout is well designed, with the third row providing enough space while still allowing for 376 liters of trunk space with the seats up, and 2,979 liters with the third row down. The entertainment system in the rear is delivered via a roof-mounted 15-inch LCD screen with a remote. Given the amount of legroom in the second row, this setup makes sense. The first and second row seats have headrest speakers, adding to the already impressive Yamaha sound system's 20-speaker count. The second row is undoubtedly the best place to be, with an HDMI connection for screen mirroring, a roof-mounted camera for conference calling, solid pull-out tables and built-in 60-watt fast charging for each seat. The rear of the vehicle features the same thin design seen in the Zeekr 001, as well as a clean, uncluttered look that contrasts with the aggressive front end. The Zeekr 9 comes in two different trims, the V Edition and the Me Edition. The V is priced at around $73,000 and is equipped with a 116 kWh NMC battery pack from CATL. It boasts a claimed range of 702 km, which is more than enough for most drivers. The Me Edition, on the other hand, is priced at around $83,000 and comes with a 140 kWh CATL Tillin battery pack, which gives it a claimed range of 822 km. Although the Zeekr 9 is marketed as a premium vehicle, its pricing is quite reasonable, especially when compared to the Toyota Alphard in China, which has a price tag of around $125,000. In January 2024, Zeekr launched its new Zeekr 9 Grand. The car appearance remains unchanged compared to the previous model. The 4-seat minivan has the main feature of the second row is the large 43-inch screen in front of the passengers. Zeekr has previously applied for patent images of this monitor's frame. According to brand officials, it also acts as an additional stiffener, enhancing the 9's torsional rigidity. Other interior upgrades include enhanced materials and a 31-speaker Yamaha sound system. Its suspension system also has a dual-chamber air suspension. The Zeekr 9 Grand is available in a single variant at a price of $109,000. It is $27,000 more expensive than the top trim level of the standard Zeekr 9. However, it is still $4,000 cheaper than the Volvo EM90, which is just a Zeekr 9 rebadge. The new Zeekr X, formerly known as the Zeekr 003, is the third Zeekr vehicle after those mentioned about previously. The Zeekr X is based on Geely's SEA platform. The lights are basically fully integrated into the hood, like with the sister brand Lynk & Co, but even more extreme. Zeekr says each light consists of 41 light-emitting units. The brake system looks impressive, with ventilated brake discs and large Zeekr-branded brake caliper. The first one is twin-motor 4-wheel drive, which features two electric motors with a combined power output of 428 horsepower, allowing for a quicker 0-100 acceleration of 3.7 seconds. This version's top speed is limited to 190 km per hour. The second one is rear-wheel drive with a motor of 272 horsepower, enabling the vehicle to accelerate from 0 to 100 in 5.8 seconds with maximum speed of 185 km per hour. Its design features rear privacy glass, frameless doors, frameless rear view mirrors, and sleek door handles. The interior boasts an 8-inch full LCD instrument panel and an electric sliding smart screen measuring 14 inches. The drive selector of the Zeekr X is mounted on the steering wheel column. Additionally, the car is equipped with 50-watt wireless fast charging for mobile phones. The Zeekr X is available on 6 body colors. The car itself is equipped with a 66 kWh NMC battery. The rear-wheel drive models have a range of 560 km, while the four-wheel drive model can travel up to 512 km on a single charge. Regarding intelligent driving capabilities, the Zeekr X is equipped with 5 cameras, 5mm wave radars, and 12 ultrasonic radars, forming the ZAD driving assistance system. It offers over 10 intelligent driving assistance functions, including straight-out parking. The Zeekr X has 3 trim levels. The entry-level version is called Me. It has 5 seats, a single electric motor, and a sticker price of $27,000. The second trim level is U with 5 seats, that costs $31,000. It has 4-wheel drive and 428 horsepower. It is already equipped with a heated steering wheel and a Yamaha sound system. And finally, the third trim level is the U version with 4 seats and a price tag of $31. It has a single e-motor as standard, but you can equip it with a 4-wheel drive system for $3,000. It seems that the price war in China is pushing many premium brands down to the mass market faster than they anticipated. The new model of Zeekr 007 was presented to Chinese outlets and bloggers right before the official presentation at the Guangzhou Auto Show. It is a mid-size sedan the size of the Toyota Camry. It adopts the brand new design language created by Stefan Silov and the Zeekr Design Center team in Gothenburg, Sweden. Stefan Silov is a former Audi and Bentley designer. The main feature of the Zeekr 7 is its headlights. The upper part of the headlight is interactive light called Zeekr Stargate, all-in-one 90-inch long smart light screen composed of 1700 high-power LED lamp beads with a maximum brightness of 10,000 nit. The car owner can project customizable images or text on it. Similar design elements become popular among models including Exceed Stara ET, Hi-Fi X, and Aito M9. From the side we can see that Zeekr 7 has frameless doors. Moreover, they haven't got door handles. Instead, they can be opened with buttons on the B and C pillars. From the back, Zeekr 7 has a single tail light LED strip and a rear bumper made of glossy plastic. The element under the tail light unit also has a unique pattern. The 007 also has the illuminated Zeekr inscription on the back. Another feature of the Zeekr 7 is the advanced driving assist system. It comprises over 20 active safety functions, thanks to a LiDAR, 12 cameras, and an NVIDIA Orin X chip. The Zeekr 7 is equipped with the NZP High-Speed Autonomous Pilot Assist. Currently, the system can operate in every corner of China. The entry-level 007 has a single e-motor in the rear axle for 415 horsepower. It speeds up to 100 in 5.4 seconds. The 4-wheel drive version has 2 e-motors for 636 horsepower, suitable for 0 to 100 acceleration in just 2.84 seconds. The 007 has 2 range options, 680 and 870 kilometers. The Zeekr 7 has officially started pre-sales at $32,000. Zeekr 7 have 4 trim levels. Here are their starting price without additional equipment packages or discounts. You may ask how Zeekr can achieve the extreme speed of shipping new products to the market. The first reason is because it's part of Geely Holding. When Zeekr 1 was launched, experts noticed it was a rebadged Lynk & Co. Zero concept from another Geely brand.
Whoop, whoop. Here I come, here I come.
And that is one part of the secret. The holding, with many EV models in its pipeline, will rebatch one of the cars under a new brand and launch it. Also, the new EV can be brand dedicated but have roots in the company's pre-existing engineering. Remember that, unlike Japanese and Western automakers, the Chinese have taken the EV seriously since the 2010s, some even since the starting of the 2000s. So there has been intense development in the last years, and now they reap the harvest. Meanwhile, in Europe, BMW was pushing the idea that customers need to have a choice, and that they would offer their regular cars with ICE or BEV options. But the chassis will stay the same, designed for ICE cars. Some might say that Chinese automakers reached their success and speed due to intellectual property theft and industrial espionage. Since it is sometimes true, it didn't make any significant difference here. The reason is that global legacies taught their Chinese counterparts the knowledge for free. In China, no foreign automaker could enter the market independently if they wanted to manufacture in the country. They had to form a joint venture with a state-owned Chinese company and establish a factory together. So in China, you can't buy, for example, a Volkswagen Passat, but you have to buy a SAIC VW or FAW Volkswagen. So as a buyer, you chose from these two models based on whether you prefer a factory partly operated by SAIC or FAW. They even have a different name, so SAIC made ID4 is X and FAW made is Cross. Other examples might be Brilliance BMW, Dongfeng Honda, and FAW Toyota. For 30 years, the Chinese could learn from the world's best automakers how to make a car for free. That led to the creation of an incredible amount of middle to higher management with deep knowledge of the world's finest car manufacturing, which was trained in China by top global automakers. By the way, Tesla was the first automaker to break through this rule and was allowed by the government to build their factory independently, without a joint venture. Since then, the rules changed for everyone. At the 2023 Shanghai Auto Show, Zeekr officially unveiled its global strategy. Zeekr Global CEO Andy An previously stated that Zeekr aims to enter Europe in 2023 and the US in 2024 and sell 650,000 EVs in Europe by 2025. Spyros Fotinas, Zeekr's vice president responsible for European operations, announced that the company will establish a presence in most of Western Europe by 2026 and aims to become a leading brand in the electric vehicles market in 2030. Fotinas also presented three pillars of their European strategy: excellent products, one-stop service, and direct sales models. The last means that Zeekr will own all its sales and delivery centers, avoiding third-party dealers. It's the same strategy they use in China. A similar approach is used, for example, by NIO, while BYD uses the traditional dealers model in Europe. Zeekr Europe is initially headquartered in Gothenburg, Sweden. In October, the company moved its main sales office into the Netherlands, making Amsterdam its home of European sales. Zeekr plans to move 80 people from Gothenburg to Amsterdam and hire another 100 locally. According to the company's official website in Europe, Zeekr 1 and X are now open for reservation for customers in the European market. These two models were first launched in Sweden and the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, the starting price of Zeekr 1 and Zeekr X is €60,000 and €45,000 respectively. Not so long ago, Zeekr was launched in Kazakhstan, one of the biggest countries in Central Asia that has borders with China, Russia, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Turkmenistan. Initially, Zeekr will sell here two models, liftback Zeekr 1 and SUV Zeekr X. In 2024, one more model will hit the market, MPV Zeekr 9. The Orbis Auto has become the exclusive distributor of Zeekr in Kazakhstan. This company already got some experience of working with Chinese premium brands, since it is the distributor of the Exceed brand under Chery. Moreover, Orbis Auto is also a local distributor of Geely, the mother company of Zeekr. Zeekr vehicles are already popular in the Central Asia region without the official distribution. All the brand's cars are imported here privately as used vehicles, and the Kazakhstan isn't an exception to a rule. So this is why Orbis Auto will provide technical support only to officially imported vehicles. Moreover, this company will also develop the charging infrastructure. Later in September 2023, in Shanghai, Zeekr signed agreements with the Rostamani Group of the UAE, the Wallen Group of Saudi Arabia, the Blue Lake Motors of Qatar, and the Al Muayyad & Sons Group of Bahrain to jointly build a sales and service network in these countries. Although they are some of the world's largest oil exporters, but yet they are marching into the new energy vehicle transition. In addition, in February 2024, Geely announced that it will bring Zeekr's new energy vehicles to the Mexican market. This agreement includes the procurement of whole cars along with the requisite after-sales parts and accessories for resale in Mexico. This is a significant step forward for Geely in expanding its footprint in the global electric vehicle market. This initiative is part of a broader strategy to tap into the burgeoning demand for electric vehicles in Latin America, focusing on Mexico. The Mexican government has already set ambitious targets for the automotive sector, aiming for hybrid and electric cars to account for 50% of the market share by 2024 or earlier. Also, that is known that the first right-hand drive versions of the Zeekr X have now rolled off the production line. These cars will be exported to Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Australia, where the company will soon open its first stores and gradually expand the sales and service network later. In May 2024, Zeekr finished its IPO, an initial public offering, so it has officially become a public company. Zeekr issued 21 million American depository shares for $21 per share on the New York Stock Exchange. As a result, it raised $441 million, 73 million more than previous predictions from financial experts. Moreover, Zeekr will be able to expand to 24 million American depository shares in the future. It will allow Zeekr to raise $500 million. Zeekr CEO Andy An mentioned that Zeekr has set a record for the fastest time from launch to IPO among new energy vehicle brands. It took company only 37 months to list on New York Stock Exchange. According to Andy An, Zeekr's secret is combination of Geely Group's car manufacturing experience and global resources. After the IPO, the founder of Geely Holding, Li Shufu, owned 74.6% of Zeekr's shares, and Zeekr CEO, Andy An, holds 2.8% of the stock. But since its launch in March 2021, Zeekr has not turned to profit. For 2023, Zeekr sold a total of 118,000 units, falling short of its annual target of 140,000. Today, Zeekr has accumulated losses of more than $2.7 billion. Company's cash reserves are now only $450 million, a debt ratio as high as 132%. But despite its losses, Zeekr still created new technologies. For example, company launched the self-developed lithium iron phosphate battery called Golden Brick battery during the Zeekr Power Day. The company claims the battery is super safe. Zeekr also released a video promoting battery safety. It shows various tests, such as putting a battery for 48 hours underwater, putting it into a -45-degree freezer for 8 hours, casting it into a 1000-degree fire. However, it still wasn't enough for Zeekr. They sent the 22-ton roller to drive over it and let the 700 kg battery fall 10 meters from the crane, showing no fire, smoke or exploding. After those 4 tests, Zeekr installed the battery back into the car and concluded that the battery still functioned properly. Zeekr claims Golden Brick is the world's first mass-produced LFP battery with volume utilization over 80%. thanks to an optimized compact sandwich structure, ultra-thin separators and an integrated tray design. Golden Brick's peak charging power is 500 kW and the maximum charge rate is 4.5 C. Between 10 and 80%, the battery can charge 500 km in 15 minutes. The battery's body is covered with 4000 V high voltage resistant gold-colored insulation film, increasing resistance by 27%. The whole pack is also waterproof, reaching IPX level 8. During the Zeekr Power Day, the company also unveiled its ambitious charging network plans. Today, company operates 400 fast charging stations in China with 2,200 charging poles, each with more than 360 kW of power. In 2024, Zeekr expects to have 1,000 charging stations, and by 2026 the company wants to have 10,000 charging poles. Zeekr also unveiled a V3 800 kW fast charger mentioned before. The company already produces a V2 600 kW liquid-cooled fast charger. V2 can add 300 km of range in 3 minutes. Both fast chargers are manufactured by Geely subsidiary Remt and have a Zeekr badge. The young EV maker also announced a 15-15 plan. All Zeekr owners will be 15 minutes away from being able to charge in 15 minutes. Zeekr wants 90% of its owners under 15-15 plan conditions in 3 years. As Zeekr claims, charging should be as convenient as going to the convenience shop. And what are your thoughts about Zeekr, its technology and future plans? Are their cars worth the price? You can leave your thoughts in comments below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share it with your friends. Thanks again and bye.